This is the new $2,000 Z Fold7, and Samsung says
this is not just another fold.
It is slimmer and lighter than previous models, it has larger interior and exterior screens than previous models, a better chipset, and even a better camera. There's one thing that remains the same though, and that's its high price tag. But I've thought of a way that I could possibly justify it. Since the Z Fold7 is finally small and light enough to feel like an average sized phone when it's closed and in your pocket, and it's got that better chip, could the Z Fold7 replace my laptop and my phone and therefore be worth its high cost? Well, everything you just saw was edited and exported using the Z Fold7 and Lumafusion, and let me show you how I got here. So to replace my computer that I overwhelmingly used to edit video, I needed to first transform the Z Fold7 into an editing workstation. Keyboard, connected via Bluetooth. Mouse, also connected via Bluetooth. USB-C hub for multiple inputs, like my SSD and my VO mic. Testing 1, 2, 3. A stand for the phone. Why is that so stiff? Ugh. And last but not least, an external monitor. Hold on. Did you catch that? That is DeX.
Since what feels like before the dawn of time, Samsung's Galaxy devices have had DeX, an underappreciated software layer that transforms your phone into a full-fledged modular desktop. Simply plug your incredibly expensive device into an external monitor, and just like that you have movable windows, support for keyboards and mice, multitasking capability.
This is awesome, but can I edit video? It was time for step 2, make a video, which starts with the script, easily done with Google Docs. Next, record that script, which I did with Samsung's own voice recording app that allows you to use an external mic. This is the new $2,000 Z Fold7. This is the new $2,000 Z Fold7. Then it's time for my favorite part, filming. For the last few months, I've been using the Lumix S1 Mark II for all of my pretty B-roll shots. It is incredibly sharp and has buttery smooth 4K 60 with pretty decent in-body image stabilization. I've also been incorporating a lot of these like locked onto the product shots. Been using the Canon PowerShot V1 for these. Put that on one end of a magic arm. Get a cheap phone mount for the other end. Put your phone on there. And then you just sort of line up your shot. But pro tip, you gotta turn the in-body image stabilization of this camera off. This is what it looks like when you don't turn it off. This is what it should look like. Outside world, yeah, it's a little wobbly, but you are locked onto that device. Then I take that footage, plug it into my USB-C hub. Downloading footage is sort of a sacred thing and you want to make sure it goes to the right place, and I've never done it via a phone before. And download it to my external hard drive via the Z Fold7. Oh my god. It's surprisingly easy. And then it was time for the moment we've all been waiting for. This is Lumafusion. It is an incredibly powerful mobile-first editing software. But unfortunately, I'm not a mobile-first editor. This thing keeps happening where like a clip gets in the main timeline, and if I delete it, it deletes like the VO below it. See this clip? I want this gone, but I don't want these to disappear. But if I hit this here delete button, ready? Boom. Ripple delete this, ripple delete that. There were some serious growing pains. It is so hard to be accurate with this mouse. I just need to use like single input. Just click one thing at a time, Becca. I was going on hour 3 of an edit that would normally take me maybe 20 minutes. And in a moment of frustration, I unplugged everything and realized that just because a phone can be a computer doesn't mean it should look like one. More on that in a moment. I have been using this program and this phone all wrong. A much simpler task on the Z Fold7 was using Framer. Framer is a web-based, no-code website building tool that allows you to create very sleek, personalized websites. I mean, I'm talking fade-ins, scroll-based animations, press effects, all through a web-based interface that works like a design tool. And even if you've never used design software, Framer has loads of in-depth but easy-to-understand video tutorials that can teach you how to add personalizations to your site to make it feel special. You can also migrate a website from Webflow or WordPress. You can start from scratch and pick one of the many pre-built layouts, or you can turn a Figma design into a site. Meaning that in minutes, you got a simple site that looks professional for hosting a resume or portfolio, or with Framer's full CMS, you grow something larger over time, like a blog. And the cool thing about doing all of this on the Z Fold7 is that when you're ready to preview your site, you can close the phone for mobile viewing or open it for the desktop preview. Use the link down in my bio to try out Framer today, and code Becca will get you 25% off your first 3 months. Thank you, Framer, for sponsoring this video. Now back to the show. It's easy to look at a phone and think that it is inferior to something larger, but the truth is, our phones are equally as powerful if you're willing to use it its way. Take, for example, the camera system on the Z Fold7. It has an upgraded 200 megapixel main lens, and it can produce some stunning photos and videos in good light. I go back and forth on loving or hating the high saturation levels, like the blue of the sky here. It was definitely not that blue to my eye, or how sharp video can be, especially on my skin when I don't really want to be able to see every pore. But overall, it's a great camera system until you start to use it outside of its best case scenario. Take astrophotography, for example, or low light video. You can put this camera on a tripod and you can set its exposure time to be up to 30 seconds for max light absorption. And once in a while, you'll get something great. But most of the time, you'll probably get something closer to this. And at night, video, it can be jittery. It's over sharpened. And there's just no way this is going to be replacing my larger cameras with the larger sensors anytime soon. And the same could be said for using the Z Fold7 as a laptop. I hooked it up to a monitor, I dressed it up with a keyboard and mouse, and I easily did emails, texting, watching videos, editing docs. But as soon as I attempted to use it for something more specialized, it pushed back. Using a mouse created friction in Lumafusion, and the phone wouldn't play back specific video formats like 422 10-bit at 4K 60, and I couldn't use third-party plugins that I love. But if all I needed was a generalist, and I used the Z Fold7 for what it was intended, using just a finger as a sole input, editing footage that was shot with my device, and utilizing built-in video tools, then yeah, it's an amazing experience, and it'll work perfectly, outside of having to get used to things like app-based workflow instead of web-based ones. So to answer the question that I had at the beginning of this video, could this phone replace this laptop? And for general work, the answer is absolutely yes, but for specialized work, no. But we have to remember that like tech is a tool, right? And you need the right tool for the job. And this just isn't the right tool for the type of job that I do. What do you think?
Seems unnecessary.
There are other notable things about this device outside of its compute power. If you're able to, go pick this thing up. It is so small and light that even after nearly 2 weeks of using it, I still forget that I can open it. And then I remember and I'm treated to its larger interior display that yes, still shows a crease, but no, it is not distracting. And the sheer amount of camera on this thing is staggering. It's a 10 megapixel f2.4 3x telephoto, which is around a 67mm full frame equivalent. There's a 12 megapixel f2.2 120 degree ultra wide.
I am losing my cloud loving mind.
And then there's two 10 megapixel hole punch style selfie cameras within the front and interior displays. Not to mention that 200 megapixel main lens. And because it's foldable, you can take selfies with the rear cameras.
It's a video, not it.
Now, I'm sorry I didn't do my 1000 photo series with this device, but the truth is I already have. All of these sensors are present on other S25 devices, and I'll link the 1000 photos videos I did for those down in the bio. This was also my first time daily driving a foldable. Not a flip, a foldable. And I've been really impressed with its battery life, its cameras as I've mentioned, but the one thing I can't get over is how scared I am of breaking it. I've already got a few nicks on the bottom of the chassis, but because it's only IP48 dust and water resistant, I've just been more on my toes about making sure I'm not exposing it to particles that are really small. Like if I put it in my pocket and there's dirt in there, or if I take it to the beach. Yeah, I'm just generally more worried about breaking this thing, especially considering how expensive it is. I went into this review thinking that adding a mouse, a keyboard, a monitor, and beefing this phone up is what was going to make it feel powerful. But the truth is, its power comes in how small it really is, and how you can put it in your pocket, move about the world, and open it up when you need something larger, but overall not feel that larger thing in your pocket. The only part of this device that I can't wrap my head around is its price. $2,000 is an incredibly expensive phone, especially for one that is already showing a lot of signs of wear after only 2 weeks. But I think for folks who are buying this, well, you're probably not thinking that much about the price anyways. I'm Becca. If you like this, subscribing to Me of the World. I appreciate you so much, bud, and I'll see you in the next one.